Kia ora everyone, I'm Mary Jo, Kiwi Bank economist. So the International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, has recently revised their forecast for the global economy, and there are three main messages to take away from their new outlook. Firstly, the IMF is now expecting the global economy to contract by 4% this year, which is a slight improvement from its forecast back in June. Now, the reasons behind the upgrade is the fact that we've seen slightly better than expected outcomes following the lockdowns that many countries experienced back in April, as well as signs of a stronger recovery, particularly in China, during the third quarter of this year. Of course, government rescue packages of unprecedented sizes in some cases have also obviously helped to cushion the blow. However, that 4% contraction would still be the worst annual decline since the 1930s Great Depression, and compared to the 2008 GFC, the global economy contracted by a far smaller 0.1% back then. Now, the global economy now is starting to get back on its feet as countries reopen and trade resumes, but it's clear that the lockdowns and the border restrictions have left some deep scars. Countries are posting record high unemployment rates, and it'll take some time to regain those lost jobs. Output also is expected to remain well below 2019 levels, even next year. In fact, the IMF have revised lower their projections for economic growth over the medium term. Essentially, the IMF is expecting a longer and slower return to pre-COVID levels. Secondly, the IMF have highlighted a worrying trend of a growing divergence between advanced economies and developing economies. Growth forecasts have been upgraded for advanced economies and for China, but prospects have worsened significantly in some developing countries where COVID cases are rising rapidly. India's economy, for example, is expected to contract by 10% this year, which is a significant downgrade to its June forecast. So while all countries face a difficult path back to some semblance of normality to pre-COVID levels, it's clear that the recovery will be uneven across countries. Finally, the IMF have made it very clear that no recovery is guaranteed so long as the pandemic continues to spread. As we've experienced here in New Zealand, a resurgence in cases means having to reinstate restrictions like lockdowns, which only stalls the recovery. In fact, only a partial recovery is expected next year because restrictions like social distancing are assumed to remain in place for some time to come. So, in the words of the IMF, the recovery is expected for the global economy is expected to be long, uneven, and uncertain. And the worst thing policymakers can do right now is to withdraw any support. Global fiscal support is nearing $12 trillion, which is massive, and there's no doubt that that has helped to prevent a far worse collapse. But that support will have to continue if we want to sustain the recovery that we're already starting to see take shape. Talk to you in the next one.